10 dark psychological tricks to control any woman's mind. Psychological tricks are methods and techniques employed to influence another individual's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. These strategies can range from subtle persuasion to more overt forms of manipulation. While the application of psychological tricks can sometimes be seen in positive contexts, such as therapy or conflict resolution, the term dark psychological tricks often carries a more sinister connotation. These darker methods are typically used to exert control over another person, often without their awareness. This article will delve into 10 dark psychological tricks that can be used to control a woman's mind. Each section will explore a specific trick, examining how it works and the psychological principles behind it. While the information presented aims to illuminate the nature of these techniques, it is imperative to consider the ethical ramifications of their use. By understanding these dark psychological tricks, readers can better recognize and safeguard against manipulation in their own lives. Trick 1: The power of negging. Negging is a psychological tactic often employed in the realm of social manipulation, particularly in romantic or dating scenarios. It involves delivering backhanded compliments or subtle insults with the intention of undermining a woman's self-esteem. The underlying goal of negging is to create an environment where the woman feels the need to seek validation and approval from the person who is subtly undermining her. This need for validation can, in turn, make her more susceptible to influence and control. Trick 2: Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation technique that seeks to make a woman doubt her own reality and memory. This insidious method involves a series of deliberate actions aimed at creating confusion and undermining the victim's confidence in her perceptions. One common form of gaslighting is denying past events. For instance, if a woman confronts the manipulator about a specific occurrence, the manipulator might outright deny it ever happened, insisting that she is mistaken or misremembering. Trick 3: The scarcity principle. The scarcity principle is a powerful psychological tool that can be utilized to influence behavior. This principle posits that individuals place higher value on things that are perceived as scarce. The underlying psychology is rooted in the fear of missing out FOMO, which can drive people to make decisions they might not otherwise consider. Trick 4: The use of silence. Silence, often overlooked as a passive form of communication, can be a powerful psychological tool in exerting control. The strategic use of silence can create significant psychological effects, making it an effective method for influencing behavior and emotions. When employed deliberately, silence can generate anxiety and, overall, the strategic use of silence can be a subtle yet potent method for exerting psychological influence. By generating anxiety and a need for approval, silence can shift power dynamics and manipulate behavior, making it a formidable tool in the arsenal of psychological control techniques. Trick 5: Love bombing. Love bombing is a manipulative tactic that involves overwhelming a woman with excessive affection, attention, and gifts. The primary objective is to create a sense of dependency on the manipulator. This tactic typically unfolds in several stages, each designed to intensify the emotional connection and subsequently exert control. Understanding the tactic of love bombing and its stages is crucial for recognizing and combating such manipulative behavior. Awareness and education about these psychological tricks can empower individuals to protect themselves from falling prey to such harmful tactics. Trick 6: Playing the victim. One of the most insidious dark psychological tricks employed to control a woman's mind is playing the victim. This tactic involves the manipulator presenting themselves as a victim of circumstance, thereby evoking feelings of sympathy and guilt in the woman. By portraying themselves as someone who has been wronged, the manipulator can create a powerful emotional bond, leading the woman to feel an urgent need to provide support and validation. In summary, playing the victim is a powerful psychological trick that can manipulate a woman's emotions, leading her to prioritize the manipulator's needs over her own. By evoking sympathy and guilt, the manipulator can create a dependency that is both emotionally and psychologically draining for the woman involved. Trick 7: Triangulation. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic that involves introducing a third party into a relationship to create jealousy and a sense of competition. This strategy can significantly impact a woman's emotional stability, making her feel insecure and more dependent on the manipulator. By subtly or overtly comparing a woman to another person, the manipulator can induce feelings of inadequacy and rivalry, which can be powerful tools for control. The emotional consequences of triangulation are profound. The woman may experience heightened levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Her sense of self-worth can become intrinsically tied to the manipulator's approval, leading to a loss of autonomy and self-confidence. This manipulation tactic not only disrupts emotional well-being, but also undermines the foundation of a healthy, balanced relationship, leaving lasting psychological scars. Trick 8: the push-pull technique. The push-pull technique is a psychological strategy that manipulates emotions by alternating between showing interest and withdrawing attention. This method leverages the natural human response to inconsistency, creating an emotional rollercoaster that often leads to dependency. When a person is occasionally rewarded with affection or attention, followed by periods of withdrawal or indifference, it triggers a complex array of emotions, including confusion, anxiety, and longing. These emotional fluctuations make the individual more likely to seek approval and validation from the manipulator, fostering a sense of instability and dependence. Trick 9: guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a psychological tactic that leverages feelings of guilt to influence another person's actions and decisions. By inducing guilt, one can exert a significant amount of control over a woman's behavior. This method often involves highlighting sacrifices made on her behalf or accusing her of selfishness to elicit a sense of obligation or remorse. Another tactic involves accusing the woman of being selfish. This might include comments such as, "You only think about yourself," or "You never consider my feelings." Such accusations can make the woman question her actions and feel compelled to prove her selflessness by complying with the manipulator's demands. However, it is critical to recognize the ethical concerns surrounding guilt tripping. Using guilt as a tool for control is inherently manipulative and can cause significant emotional harm. It undermines trust and respect in relationships, fostering a toxic environment. Ethical considerations dictate that one should never exploit another person's emotions for personal gain, as it can lead to long-lasting psychological damage and erode the foundation of mutual respect and understanding that healthy relationships rely on. Trick 10: future faking. Future faking is a psychological manipulation tactic that involves making deceptive promises about the future to influence a woman's present behavior. By painting a compelling picture of a shared future, the manipulator creates a sense of hope and attachment in the target. This tactic leverages the human tendency to invest in future rewards, often leading the woman to commit more deeply to the relationship or situation in anticipation of an idealized future that never materializes. The long-term psychological effects of future faking can be profoundly damaging. Women subjected to this manipulation often experience feelings of betrayal, loss of trust, and diminished self-esteem. The realization that they have been deceived can lead to emotional distress and a reluctance to form future relationships. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize and address the signs of future faking to mitigate its harmful impact. The ethics and consequences of manipulation. Throughout this blog post, we have explored 10 dark psychological tricks aimed at controlling a woman's mind. These tactics, ranging from emotional manipulation to gaslighting and beyond, may offer short-term gains in influencing behavior. However, it is crucial to reflect on the ethical implications and potential long-term consequences of employing such strategies. Ethically, the use of manipulation tactics runs counter to the principles of mutual respect and equality that should underpin human interactions. Relationships, whether personal or professional, thrive on genuine connection, consent, and understanding. By resorting to manipulation, one undermines these essential elements, creating a toxic dynamic that is neither sustainable nor fulfilling. In conclusion, while the allure of psychological tricks to control someone's mind may be tempting, the ethical and emotional costs are significant. Prioritizing respect, consent, and emotional health ensures more meaningful and lasting relationships, ultimately benefiting all parties involved.